Happy weekend, everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend with your friends and family. We are crushing this market. Friday was a great trading day. If you're liking the content, please hit the like button. It only takes a second. Please share with your friends and family. And if you're making money, if you're learning something from my videos, if you'd like to thank me, there's a PayPal link in my description. Please donate. I will really appreciate that. It goes a long way. Okay, guys. So this is weekly chart. Let's start with weekly analysis of MES, which is S&P 500, which this is entire US stock market. This is stochastic here. Okay, you can see what's happening in stochastic. A couple of weeks ago, actually last week, we crossed. Red one came up, blue came down. So whenever that happens, we expect a little bit of dump. Okay, so that's what our indication is. If you can see, zoom out a bit, I show you we crossed here, we got a dump. We crossed here, we got a dump. We crossed here, we got a dump. Now we crossed here, now we're expecting a dump. Okay, so a dump is coming. All right, now these, if you zoom in a bit, you can see these two are hanging man candles last couple of weeks. So I don't expect price to go above this before we get a dump. We need to grab more liquidity before we go higher. And again, higher picture, I'm looking for this dump around end of May, early June to finish, and then we get higher again above these candles. Okay, so market is about rotation. Let's zoom out a bit and see. You can see every time we go higher, we need some dip to grab liquidity to go higher again. Okay, so even when we're going lower, we don't really go straight down. We go down, we go higher, go down, go higher. So here you can see, let's here. So how many green candles we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, let's take all candles off. Let's ignore green and red. Let's take all candles till we're going higher. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 candles, then dump. Okay, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then dump. Okay, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now we're getting a dump. Okay, so it's very good for market to go down to grab more liquidity to go higher. Market is about rotation. So if we keep going straight, that's not good. If we keep going straight, then we're gonna fall very high. Okay, the zigzag pattern allows market to go higher. Okay, and that's what I'm expecting a little bit downside. Let's zoom in a bit and see. You can see this purple cycle here. This is US 2000, which is Russell 2000, and consists of 2000 small US companies, mostly regional banks and all small companies other than S&P 500. So I expect this cycle on US 1000. There will be some capitulation like event happening early end of May. So banks, IWM ETF, which is Russell 2000 ETF, I'm expecting a lot of downside there. This is IWM. And also energy sector, I will show you soon. I'm expecting these three sectors to sell very, very heavily, and this will put a lot of pressure on entire stock market, including tech sector. Tech sector, only couple of stocks is holding higher, but even on Friday they started showing weakness. So I'm expecting them to start very soon, and it's gonna eventually go into tech sector, and all markets should go down. And this will be a great buy the dip opportunity. So if you sell now, okay, if you sell now, look to buy here. That will be very profitable later on. Okay, so that's weekly. So again, weekly little bit dump. Okay, by next couple of weeks to a month, a dump, buy, and then we're going to form a topping pattern. You can take this previous high here, which is around, this is MES, previous high is around 43.32. That you can take as a target for this year. Okay, I do not expect it to go higher this year. So after this, you can see this cycle is coming again. So I'm expecting lows again happening, and mostly it's going to mostly go back to this buy zone around 3800 to 3700. So we'll be looking to buy. We'll cover that when that time comes. Okay, so for now, dump. Okay, by end of May, early June, and then a pump. Okay, let's go back to daily chart now. So now on daily, this is macro level call. So I do expect a little bit of pump next week, because you can see this green cycles here. There are two green cycles here. So you can see on Friday we were at the bottom of this cycle. So I'm expecting a pump now. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Expecting a pump. So that pump now, this candle here is a reversal candle. Some people call it a dragonfly candle. So I do not expect in any case this pump to go above this one. So it's gonna go higher. I will show you on SPY very quickly how this looks like and what are the levels. And okay, so you can see I'm expecting a pump, and there is a gap here around 415. My best case scenario, next week we're gonna go fill this gap. When we fill this gap, look to exit, buy puts. Okay, and then we're gonna go down, and there is this gap here around 395. Look to buy here. All right, so this is a reversal candle. If I zoom in again, you can see this is inverse Thor. Some people call it dragonfly. in any case, I don't think it's going to go above that. I think worst case is going to go like somewhere here, but my preference and my most likely probability is fill this gap and then go higher, sorry, go lower, go to bottom of the channel. Okay, and then let's see, we are here. You can buy 3x ETF, so you can start buying calls on Monday, looking for a pump, and then exit calls, look buy put options. And then when we are here, you can even buy UPRO if you don't like to trade options. This is 3x ETF. Let's see if we go here, fill this gap around 395. From here we can take this previous high, which is around 416. Oh, sorry, not this one, this one around 426 as our target for this year. Okay, there is a gap here. We can even go as high as 430. But if we take that as a target, let's see if we go from here and if we buy UPRO, this is almost 8%. So to 27, 28, even 30% we can get if you buy triple Qs, we can get that upside. Okay, so all you need to do is sell next week when we get this pump. Okay, fill this gap, go down, buy the UPRO, do nothing. Okay, wait for this rally to end late summer. When we are there, let's go back to MES chart. So when we are done in summer, you can see on daily channel, you can see this cycle here is going higher. This blue cycle is going higher. Okay, and then those two cycles will put a lot of upward pressure on this this to go high, and then late summer we can exit. So here you can sell UPR with 30% profits. Okay, that's it, guys. Easy trade plan. All right. Or, and worst case, if you don't like to, if you're buying a SPY in long-term portfolio, you don't have to worry. Just keep holding for this dump to over, and then eventually will be higher. You can sell here. Okay, so if you're not sure about this dump, don't do anything. Just hold it and sell when you're here at the top. Okay, so easy trade here happening on SPY. All right, so let's go to MES chart, MNQ chart, which is Nasdaq. Weekly chart, same thing. If I zoom out a bit, you can see I'm expecting a dump. Okay, dump to fill around, come around here, find some support here. Okay, and then a pump to make a new high. But for now, I'm looking for a dump. Again, we can have a little bit of pump again based on SPY next week, and then we're gonna get down. Again, you can see rotations. Okay, we went higher, go down, higher, down, higher. It's time to go down. Okay, so that's very healthy for the market to go higher. All right. Let's go to Nasdaq 100 1-hour chart and see if there are anything else. You can see we have this trend line. Let's see if this trend line. You can see this trend line. We are still on this trend line. You can even follow this trend line. As long as we're above this trend line, that's good. You can look to hold it, and we are at the bottom of this channel on 1 hour, so we can go higher. So that's what I'm expecting on even on US 500, which is futures. We can expect a little bit more higher, and then eventually top out. Let's actually go to now. Let's get some other indicators here, PPO and RSI. That's going to help us put some more analysis in pictures. You can see on PPO. Do I see anything in lower low? No divergence on PPO here. Here we had divergence, and here also nothing here to see, and here also nothing. I don't see any divergences. You can see why we got a dump. You can see we were going higher. RSI was going lower, PPO was going lower, so we got a dump. Now we are on this trend line. As long as we're holding this trend line, everything is good. Okay, and go to 1 hour SPY chart. Looks like there was a gap here which was created on this was Wednesday 10th of May, and we went up to fill this gap. Okay, now there's a gap down. They don't want to break this support for some reason. They're holding here, they're trapping everybody, they're holding here, and they don't want to close this gap. And basically when we are here, they're tricking everybody, market is tricking everybody, and everybody is expecting this gap to fill. People are shorting, and then they're just bouncing here. Okay, so we're just chopping around between this gap and upper gap. So I think from now I'm expecting this top gap to fill and then go down. Okay, triple Qs, there are no gaps here, so nothing changed here. All right, wicks, let's go to daily chart of wicks. I do expect wicks cycle to dump actually Monday, is I'm expecting it to come down and be the bottom. Okay, you can see how nicely this cycle is working out, and I do expect a little bit of pump, so this cycle can be off 1 or 2 days here and there. Okay, you can see here couple of days off, so VIX can still sell off couple of days and then bounce, so be mindful of that. So it's possible it can go a couple of more days down, and then response is just an estimation. Okay, so it doesn't have to be accurate. So that's in line with S&P 500. US 30 daily chart again. I think this US 30 is very weak, so the top is in. I think from now, based on S&P 500, I'm expecting a little bit of more pump and then go down. US 2000, which is the weakest of sectors, you can see this is the one who's going to drive entire market down. So I'm expecting previous lows or even lower low, and this will be the buy zone. Okay, on weekly, this is the buy zone. Let's go to daily. You can see daily here, we're coming very close to the buy zone. So look to buy it, but I think it's not going to make a new high. It's going to go down here, buy it here, probably go higher, and then going to go lower again based on this cycle here. So I'm not too bullish on banks and Russell 2000. Most likely, if you want to be bullish, buy tech or buy S&P 500. Okay, this is going to be in this range. This is the weakest sector because of high interest rates. It's putting a lot of pressure on small companies to be able to survive, and that's what we are in. Okay, all right, let's move along. Let's look at some commodities. Daily chart of oil doing very nicely as I predicted. You can see it's going lower here now, so it's going to top out very soon. Go lower here, make equal lows or even go lower. So not bullish on energy. That's going to put a lot of pressure on XLE. This is my XLE sector here. You can see XLE, I'm expecting this gap, big gap here around 71 to fill. So not looking to buy until that happens. And natural gas, pump getting a pump. Let's go to 1 hour chart. There's a gap, looking for that gap to fill sometime. So you can see it's just going higher. You can see what's happening. Actually, there's no divergence on PPO and RSI, so that's good. You can see now it's also on this channel. So it's holding a support line here. But I really want this gap to fill before I can be bullish on natural gas. Very good trade here on natural gas, but looking for this to come and fill this gap and go higher. But on daily chart, it doesn't have to happen now. It can wait till this cycle low here, which is around June. So it can just chop around here and eventually come down to fill this gap. But I'm not bullish until this gap is filled. Bitcoin is very nicely working out as I pretty can see. This is the buy zone. How nicely on Friday it came to my buy zone and then now bouncing. So I think from here we're gonna get a little bit of pump with S&P 500, little bit of pump, and then gonna go down again. Okay, that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. Same thing on Ethereum. Came to buy zone of 1700, expecting a little bit of pump again here. Okay, and then go back to the buy zone. All right. This is Bitcoin future, that's fine. You can ignore it for now. Gold, basically, this is my buy zone, 1900. It doesn't have to come down here right now, but eventually I'm looking for weakness, and I'm not going to be buying until at minimum 1900 is hit, and then it's going to go for a new all-time high later on. Okay. Silver is same thing, had a big sell-off on Thursday, and it's in the buy zone, but looks like it's going to be a little bit more weaker as things are looking in gold. So looking for a little bit more downside, and then as per gold, just monitor gold cycle. When gold is around 1900, that will be a good area to buy silver at that time. Dollar is up, but again, I'm expecting this healthy pump to go down. So looking for weaknesses here around July time frame. So I think this pump is going to fail, and then we're going to go basically with S&P 500. Expect a little bit more downside. So let me fix this. With S&P 500 going basically higher, looking for a little bit more downside, and then go up and then go down. Okay, something like this. All right. Wheat wheat looking for basically it looks like it was at one time very high around almost 4%, 3%, but this is a big resistance zone. I'm looking for equal low or low low coming here around June time frame, late June. So looking for new lows with divergence on PPO and RSI. That will be my buy signal. Even on weekly, I'm looking for another dump, and I'm looking for some divergence on PPO and RSI to buy wheat. And mortgage rates, let's go to auto here. Mortgage rates here, looking for this cycle here. So this cycle gonna bring some this downward pressure here. So low here with S&P 500 going higher, it's gonna go lower, and then when S&P 500 going lower, it's gonna go higher. Bonds, basically the cycle top is coming here. So it bottomed here. Now looking for a little bit more upside with S&P 500, and then we're gonna go higher, lower later on in the bonds. Okay, nothing changed there. Oops, sorry. Fix this. Go lower like this. All right. Okay. Other sectors, gold miners. It's on support here. Gold miners are right on support. Let's quickly go here. This is the support zone. Okay, so looking for a little bit more higher and then go lower with S&P 500 going higher, a little bit more higher and then go lower. All right. And XLE I covered, lower prices. XLU with S&P 500 going higher, I think it's going to be a little bit more pump before we go lower. So like this, little bit more pump, then we go lower. XLV, same thing, little bit more pump, same thing, little bit more pump, then go lower. XLF, little bit more pump and then go lower. Same thing here as cycle is showing. Looking for new lows or even a lower low. Industrials, same thing, little bit higher, then go lower. XLRE, real estate, same thing, little bit higher and then go lower. Okay, Tesla, basically very weak candle. Elon announced a new Twitter CEO. Go to 1 hour chart. You can see at one time we thought we're going to fill this gap, and they were pumping. Market is very tricky. Okay, they're tricking everybody. You can see what happened. They gapped up, and then this gap up came with lower momentum on PPO and RSI. So that was your indication that a dump is coming. You can see if I show you here, RSI was going lower. Okay, PPO was also going lower here. Okay, so gapped up here with lower momentum and a dump. Okay, now we are on this support zone. This is also a gap fill here, so it is possible with S&P 500 going higher, we're going to have a little bit more pump, maybe fill this gap. That's the best case, and then go down. Okay, so that's my preference on Tesla. Go to Apple. Let's go to daily chart. Okay, so Apple is on this wedge. It broke out of the wedge. You can see it broke down. Basically the wedge is broken now, so it came down. It was basically, you can see they kept it here, chopped around here, and now it broke down, and now looks like we're gonna it is possible we can have another attempt really to touch these previous highs with S&P 500 going higher. So I think most likely it's gonna have a little bit more upside and then go down and fill most of these gaps. Okay, and you can see what's happening on PPO and RSI. You can see still divergence on PPO and RSI. We made a new high on Thursday with divergences. Okay, so most likely whenever you see that, most likely that's going to fail. You can see this new high which was on Thursday, 1st of June, sorry, 11th of May. You can see it came on lower momentum on PPO and even RSI is lower. Okay, so we're going lower. Google gap up, looking for these gaps. This was basically not predictable. I don't know why they just pumped it. Maybe something AI. They launched a new phone, so it looks like the top is in. You can see what's happening on PPO. Same thing. The PPO new highs, lower momentum. RSI is the one showing no divergence, but PPO is showing divergence. So it's like conflict between the indicators, but it's possible we can get some cool down. I don't think we're going to come all the way down to this trend line. So if you want to drive a target, you can drive a target from here to here. So the best case scenario would be here. This will be our buy zone. Okay, so you can look to buy around here. So this will be my ultimate buy zone. So looking for a little bit of downside on Google and then go higher. All right. But with some S&P 500 pump coming next week, it is possible we can go higher to fill this gap and then go down and then go higher as well. So just keep those both scenarios in mind. Eventually we're going lower. That's the point I want to make. Microsoft, big gap here. So looks like we fill this gap. So we can wait. Let me see in 1 hour chart if we fill this gap. No, this gap is not filled. So probably we're gonna fill this gap and then go lower. Snowflake's earnings coming soon, I think. 25th of May. Cycle is topping out, so I think we're going to go lower. Maybe earnings will be the catalyst to go lower again. So that will be a good area to buy when we drop on earnings. Meta, basically a gap here. I think mostly it topped out and it can be in a wedge like this. So again, looking for lower prices on Meta, maybe a little bit of more pump with S&P 500, and then we go down. All these gaps are down to the fill. So we'll see how low we go. We will take S&P 500 as our guide. Amazon looks like top is in, and now we're going lower. Netflix holding this trend line. As long as Netflix is on this trend line, you cannot be bearish. So you need to hold this trend line. And when we break this trend line, you can look to short Netflix. Okay. Nvidia is getting weaker. Looks like top is in with huge divergence on RSI and PPO. Looking for lower prices. Around 200 is my target. AMD is selling off. Looks like top is in again. Big resistance areas. Not able to cross that. Okay. Looking for lower prices in here. I also want to throw in Disney. Looking like a great buy zone here on Disney. If I this is one you can use for long-term portfolio. You can see this whole area here. Sorry again. This whole area is a great zone to buy. Okay, let's go to weekly and see. You can see on weekly this whole area here. Okay, whole area here. It's right there. Okay, this is a great zone to buy. So it's right on the buy zone. Should be looking to buy Disney if you're looking into some long-term hold. Okay, and we got down on earnings, so it's just forming a base, and eventually it's going to go higher. Okay, so that's it, guys. Okay, guys, please, if you're still here, hit the like button on your way out, and have a good rest of the weekend. And I hope you will have a great next trading day on Monday and great next week. Take care, guys.